Welcome to the Boston Bros Political Podcast, giving you the top political news in Massachusetts and the region.
And around the world.
Or around the world.
Why not?
We've got our envoys all over the world reporting back to Peter Lucas, the Boston Herald political columnist, and my good friend. How are you doing today, Peter?
And freedom fighter.
Yeah, a lot has happened. A lot has happened since our last show 2 weeks ago. I had a big exactor at Saratoga. I just wanted you to know that. And I hit a horse called Praying. I was praying. It was a 22-1 long shot coming down the stretch. And boy, were my prayers answered with a nice $44 payoff on a $2 bet.
Well, I can almost top that. I almost got a hole-in-one on the par 3 at Butterbrook Golf Course in Westford. It was like this.
Really?
Like this, away from the hole-in-one.
Have you ever had a hole-in-one?
Never.
Yeah, I've never had one. Oh, that's good. You know what? Keep trying.
Okay.
And keep the faith. So Peter, I saw your column. You had a great column on the GOP candidates for governor, Keneally and Shortsleeve, about combining their forces.
Right,
we talked about that a little on the last show. You said you were going to write it, but it was a great column, and some of my friends commented on it and said it was a good idea to just what Weldon Cellucci did.
Right.
Manage your resources, bring them together. Yeah. Did you get any feedback on it?
I got a lot of comments from readers on it. They thought it was a good idea. The last time it was tried was Bill Weldon and Paul Cellucci were two candidates for governor combined, and they won. And it's something that these two guys should think about. Yeah. I think they both qualified, and if they came together, it would be like the Herald headline said, it could be a juggernaut.
Yeah. Do you? Have you heard anything from either camp? You think they might consider something like that?
If they're wise, they will. I got a lot of comments from readers thinking it's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Moving on from there, we had a Boston mayoral primary election. I don't know who cares, but we should say a little about it. It is the capital city. Mayor Wu won overwhelmingly as originally projected. Josh Kraft came in second, right?
Right.
He came in second, way behind over 50 percentage points. Okay, so we knew what was going to happen. Kraft fired his campaign strategist, _𝐁𝐨 Public Strategies. A week before the election, they had a falling off of the ways. But does Kraft have any chance going into November? Because he now qualifies because he finished second to Wu. So there will be a runoff election in November. Does he have a chance?
He needs a psychiatrist more than he needs a campaign consultant. He lost, 70% to 30%?
Yeah.
He's a decent man, honorable man. He's done a lot of good things in philanthropy and helping the poor in Boston, but politics is a different business than philanthropy. And Mayor Wu is a pro. Despite her age, she's only 40, he's 58, she has spent more time in politics than the 18 years difference between them. And she proved that to run for mayor of Boston is a rugged, tough task. And I don't think he was up for it.
But here's the thing. How is she like the Teflon Wu? I mean, with all the scandals and problems around City Hall and the lack of negotiations, you got the White Stadium, the other stadium they're trying to build, bike lanes. People are complaining about everything. The business community is complaining. And it seems like nothing seems to affect the people who vote for her.
Well, it's very hard to criticize a woman who's campaigning with a baby in her arms.
Yeah, that's true. And she keeps this attack up against ICE, coming in there to try to surging in the communities, beating back crime, arresting more and more criminals every time they do it. The illegal immigrants and some of the people they're arresting, they're roaming free in these Boston neighborhoods and everything. I mean, but yet it doesn't get any traction. And she just keeps saying, Donald Trump, stay out of here, we'll sue you. And I mean, how can you stand up for letting criminals and corruption just continue, and yet it doesn't seem to bother her at all?
Oh, she can get away with it because she has a weak opponent.
Yeah. So,
and the media's in the tank, so what else is new?
So you consider her a rising star in the Democrat Party.
Absolutely.
Does that mean, do you think she has ambition beyond Boston mayoral politics?
She probably does, but don't forget there's hardly any place to go. There are no openings. And the only opening would be Eddie Markey running for re-election at age 80 for another term in the U.S. Senate, and he's not stepping aside. So he's blocked everybody else from moving up. So there's no place to go. Does she have ambition? And she's talented? Yeah, she is a rising star. However, there is no play for her to star in, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not a bad analogy.
No, very good. But and she just keeps getting stronger, and it seems like the other person who she has allied with, especially in the lawsuits and criticism of the Trump administration with bringing in federal agents to track down illegal immigrants and criminal illegal immigrants, is Governor Maura Healey. She's been in the news because Trump has brought in the National Guard and troops into L.A., which made a remarkable result. Even some people in Hollywood were happy.
Right.
It's amazing to get them on your side, because they couldn't even go down into what's that famous street in Hollywood? Rodeo Drive. Without getting their pockets picked or having to step over feces on the sidewalk. Of course, because that would bother them in their Gucci with their Gucci bags and Jimmy Choo shoes. So here's Governor Healey, attacking the Trump administration. And then I just love it when ICE comes out with these numbers that all throughout New England, these people roaming free, pedophiles, rapists, attempted murder. It's what have law enforcement throughout the 6 New England states been doing for the last 4 or 5 years? I mean, these people are right in the community selling fentanyl pills.
They've been looking the other way.
Oh, man. I mean, if you're a parent, if you're a businessman, if you're just a reasonable human being, I don't care what political side you are, you want these people out of your communities. And they're just, right in parks and playgrounds, right outside of schools. So the big story, and I got this story because, I was a former editor for 30 years. Worked at 6 different newspapers, the Lowell Sun, and I know we keep hopping on the Boston Globe, but it just gets irritating how, they have professional journalists and headline writers and editors and stuff. And it's just a real turn off the bias they have. So here's the story, the latest. Healey accuses ICE of trying to intimidate people attending Spanish language service at Chestnut Hill Church. Written by Jim Puzangetta. So now, when President Trump makes some, he makes some statistics or says something, the Associated Press, the New York Times, other publications put Trump falsely made this statement. They always do that. Well, you read this story. Governor Healey outright lies in this story. Okay, but there's no comment in here from the reporter or Globe editors who said Governor Healy falsely accused ICE of putting agents outside this church on Sunday. No. The people at Boston College, where this church is right on the perimeter. Now, that doesn't mean it's on the grounds of Boston College. It's on the perimeter, okay? This was St. Ignatius Church, okay? There was an ICE vehicle seen briefly on Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon. It's quoted right in here.
Yeah, picky.
It's quoted right in here. An email request to St. Ignatius did not receive an immediate response. The Heights, a Boston College student newspaper, reported that a marked ICE vehicle was parked near the church on Saturday afternoon. The article included a photo of the vehicle and a comment from Boston College spokesperson Jack Dunn that campus police spotted the vehicle near the church, which is on the perimeter of the school. Dunn confirmed to the Globe that campus police saw an ICE vehicle, quote, briefly parked in front of the church on Saturday, but, quote, there were no sightings reported by BC police on Sunday. Okay, and here's what Healy, okay, said on MSNBC's Morning Joe. Quote, why the hell are they there? They're there to intimidate, right? They're there to sow fear. They're there to scare people, Healy said on MSNBC's Morning Joe. Healy said the incident took place outside St. Ignatius of Loyola Parish in Chestnut Hill near the Boston College campus. And she said it was done on Sunday, as these people were trying to go into for the Spanish language mass, okay? So, you know, it works both ways, Governor Healy. I know you like to attack Trump, and I know the Boston Globe loves to attack Trump. Why did you start using the word, Mr. Puzangara and Linda Henry, who's the editor who runs the Boston Globe, about how, you know, when you put Trump falsely said this, why did you say Governor Healy falsely said this, you know, and give the people the right information instead of just giving these people a pass?
Why do I think, Jim, that you'll never be hired by the Globe? What makes me think that?
Well, it's too late for them to even exercise that option because I do my own thing, and I did it for a long time, and I tried to do it honestly and fairly.
And you did it. You did it well.
And journalism today, that's why people don't trust institutions, and especially the press, and it's sad.
That's why they tune into this show.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, any thoughts on that, and where is this going to lead to? Because now we got Trump saying after successes in L.A. and a couple of other places, he says he's going to turn his attention to Chicago.
It's very fashionable among Democrats in Massachusetts to attack Trump and to defend illegal immigrants. Unfortunately, there's a criminal element among the illegal immigrants that has to be arrested, flushed out, deported. And politically, what I'm seeing is that this is like a contest between Governor Healy and Mayor Michelle Wu, who could be more anti-Trump and pro-illegal immigrants than the two of them. They're fighting it out who could be the champion of the anti-Trump movement in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
It's funny how government has a perception of itself. You know, they look inward and they say, "Oh, we're doing a great job," and they keep telling their employees. And but see, they get this perception they're invulnerable and stuff when all the failings are around them. But the people who have to live in these communities, they see the failings.
Well, don't forget the average citizen in Massachusetts or any place else doesn't walk around with security like they do.
Yeah, but I think it's rising to the top. I think more and more people are getting upset with this. The more ICE puts out these figures and who they're picking up, and okay, Yes, mistakes have been made. And you know what? I'm the first to criticize the federal government, but just indiscriminately picking up people.
It's not only the criminal illegal immigrants. We got our homegrown violent criminals. Look at that poor stabbing of that Ukrainian woman on the
bus in Charlotte.
North Carolina. Terrible.
And the guy had been arrested 40 times. And it was a judge.
14 times.
It was a Democrat appointed judge, and he was a big contributor to the Kamala Harris campaign that came out. Okay, which is besides the point. But who's going to hold these judges accountable? I mean, he let the guy out on a promissory note. He had like 5 different other
pending
charges for attempted assault and battery, theft, all these things. You know, don't they talk about escalating crime and you're supposed to put them away before they do something even worse? This guy was out on the street. The poor woman, 22 years old, she was taken by surprise. The photos are just horrific. Her mouth agape and looking up at the camera on the train, that bus that she was on. Was it the commuter rail? And she didn't know what was happening. She comes to America from Ukraine for freedom and safety.
She had been living in a bomb shelter in Ukraine.
Yeah, and she loses her life to some wacko who's on the street. Well, it's just absolutely terrible, ridiculous.
We've reached a point that there's more law and order on a television cop show than it is in real life.
Yeah, it's too bad, and God forbid it happens to your son and daughter, your wife, your husband, your mother, your father. It's terrible.
So it's no wonder the president is calling out the National Guard.
So here's a letter that I found, one of the more lucid ones I saw for the week, and it was published in the Boston Herald. I mean, I read the Boston Globe too. Usually the letters are just the same leftist stuff, but this is just a simple headline: ICE in Boston. It comes from Tony Meschini of Scituate. Nice community, right? It says, the letter says, really don't understand why both Boston Mayor Michelle Wu and Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey are so hell-bent against having U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents in Massachusetts with legal documents do their job. If Wu and Healey don't like what they are doing, then contact our 9 Massachusetts congressional representatives and change the law. Hey, spot on.
What a novel idea.
We've been saying this for a while, and I used to write editorials about it all the time. Why isn't Congress changing the immigration laws? They could be doing it right now. I'm sure the Democrats could find a bunch of Republicans on the other side who are just sick and tired of all this stuff and want to work to craft a bill, to maybe take these people out of the shadows, the ones who are law-abiding, the ones who've been here for a while, raising families, working, have jobs, contribute to society. Hey, maybe there's a way.
Why aren't they doing it? They're probably too busy playing the stock market with all inside information.
No, because for Democrats, it's a wedge issue, but it's a losing wedge issue. Because these people now, over 1 million, have self-deported already. Okay, and these blue states are losing population as they continue to leave, so it's happening. So why don't you do something to protect the people who do have roots here? Okay, they violated the law. Hey, we're letting criminals out. All right, they violate the law. We're letting criminals out to kill 22-year-olds on buses and trains.
Things are so bad, I think I'm going to move to Chicago.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, so what's going to happen in Chicago? Here's Governor Pritzker, a Democrat in Illinois, saying, we'll file lawsuit after lawsuit. We'll fight the Trump administration. The mayor will fight the Trump administration. And yet Chicago, even though crime is down in Chicago, There's still a lot of random crime and death. And
Forget the National Guard. You know, I'll tell you what Chicago needs. Chicago needs a good community organizer, like Barack Obama, because that's where he started out with his illustrious career as a community organizer on the south side of Chicago. He should go back now and relive his past, bring people together like he used to do as a community organizer. Besides, he has a vested interest in Chicago. That's where his mausoleum is being built.
That's right, his library.
His presidential library. It's so big, it's so huge, and it dwarfs Jackson Park on the south side. It's empty right now because they need more money to finish it. It's costing $800 million.
It's amazing how that neighborhood, they originally agreed because it was a minority neighborhood, and they were hoping that this would spur some economic development. Well, now the thing has grown so big, it's really upset the locals who live there because they're being tossed out.
The rents are going up.
The rents are going up. They can't afford it.
But it's unfinished. It hasn't been finished yet, and it's empty. And I figure ICE can use it as a holding station for these illegal.
It's all fenced in, yeah.
Right, these illegal immigrants that they're going to deport and to back to Guatemala or wherever, and it would be like a dual purpose.
So timing is everything, you know. And I think it was 3 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago when Trump first came out and said he was eyeing Chicago to bring that place back to back to normal and really help the people who want to go about their lives. And of course, Pritzker, the mayor, everybody else, all the other Democrats come out and blah, 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 the same old stuff. Okay, so timing is everything in politics. All right, what happens over the Labor Day weekend? Okay, there were 8 people killed in Chicago, 58 people shot over the weekend. And Trump is in Washington. Oh, and there's another city he cleaned up, Washington, D.C.
Right.
Carjackings are down. They found the 2 juvenile killers who killed that UMass Amherst intern, just indiscriminately killed, random shooting. Okay, so there's a cartoon once again on that same page in the Herald. You know, there's Mayor Johnson, Governor Pritzker, and you know, the Democrat icon there. I hear no violence in Chicago. I see no violence in Chicago. So we can't let Trump take credit for stopping the violence in Chicago. 8 killed, 58 shot in Windy City.
That's why Obama.
You can't make this stuff up.
That's why Obama should go back. Listen, if he went back and brought all sides together, he could win another Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna add
to go with the first one he didn't deserve.
Yeah, unbelievable. Now, did you see that former President Joe Biden signed the paperwork to go forward with his presidential library? It's going to be, you know, built in his hometown there in Delaware.
Obama's library is going to be so big, he can get a room in the attic for Joe Biden's stuff to fit in there.
Well, no, I think Joe Biden should have a library, but it should be different. It should be one of these mobile vans.
It's going to be a paid library.
Yeah, it should be like
you got to pay to get in.
Yeah, it should be one of these mobile vans, you know, that they go around and go around to the different the places, and you could have all Joe Biden's books in there
with a section for Hunter Biden Depository. That'll be in a section.
So, but it's going to be interesting how he raises money, if he can raise the amount of money that is needed. I don't think he is. I think unless Hunter works hard and gets some Ukrainians and Burisma to contribute to the foundation. So. I don't know. So while we were on hiatus, the Shannon O'Brien, okay, the head of the Cannabis Control Commission was she had her job restored in her battle with Treasurer Deb Goldberg, who originally fired her. Basically, Shannon O'Brien, sued to get her job back, and it went to court, and the state judges basically restored her and said that Treasurer Goldberg had no right to fire her, even though it seemed like there was a lot of turmoil in that office. What came out about all this was the 5 or 6 employees who had lost their jobs in the past, who also sued to get their jobs back, and they all got settlements, So. And I guess they were, some people said that they were Deb Goldberg supporters, and that's why Shannon O'Brien fired them. I don't know if that is true.
Well, I don't know if it's true either, but this is a big blow to Deborah Goldberg, the state treasurer who brought this thing about in the first place. It's cost the Commonwealth millions of dollars in court fees, legal fees, and she lost. And Shannon O'Brien has been reappointed, reinstated, and there you go.
Yeah, and the place is still in turmoil because the state legislature is looking into reforming the law that set up the Cannabis Control Commission, because the thing is not working. It's not responding to the needs of the industry.
Look,
and it's a mess.
Legalizing marijuana is as bad as legalizing sports betting. Both are driving this Commonwealth into the ditch. More people are getting hooked on gambling and on drugs than ever before, thanks to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts making that kind of practice legal. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, and we've become vice city or vice state because the latest report about gambling, even gamblers who in the past, they were either moderate to, some of them were even professional gamblers. They're saying they got a problem. They're gambling even more because of all the. But
it's filtered down to young people.
Yes,
young people are getting hooked on gambling and drugs thanks to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think that whole situation with the marijuana, the gambling, it's just not good for Massachusetts, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Once you open up that door, it's tough to go back.
Well, I have a solution. I know how we can, reinstate the morale of the people of Massachusetts. I think we need a new state flag.
Oh, okay, yes. The next subject.
What do you think?
Well, so here's another one. Readers in a recent poll, once again done by the Boston Herald, say stick with the existing flag. More than 80% opted for no change to the state banner. Okay, now I don't know if you can see this, but here's the state flag with the Native American Indians standing on it. It's been there for almost, I think, two centuries.
Over 100 years.
Over 100 years. Okay, and the big problem with a lot of people is the sword over the head.
That's not a big problem with a lot of people.
No,
it's a small problem for a small bunch of people.
Because they think, well, it shows aggression or a killing. I mean, it's crazy what these people see into these things. Okay, and so some people suggest, hey, just take that away. Just take it off the state flag, but keep everything the same. But these were the 3 proposals that the flag commission. Yeah, the flag commission is considering. These are feathers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turkey feathers, because turkeys play so big a role in Thanksgiving, going back to the Pilgrims. I mean, I looked at it; it looked like marijuana plants or something. Maybe that's what going to become. And they're considering that as one of the options. This flag commission.
That's a recommendation of this special commission. That has been meeting. Established 4 years ago.
Yes, after the first commission declined to do anything.
And this is what they've come up with.
Yeah. Okay, and this is a Mayflower, okay, because of the Mayflower. I didn't even know I knew there was a ship, the Mayflower, the Pilgrims came over. So they use that as the the Mayflower. They translate it with that, and they said, well, this would make a good flag. Just that, the Mayflower. I says, what does that have to do with? I mean, I never learned in school or anything about a Mayflower. We learned about the ship, but that's representative of the Mayflower. It has no connection whatsoever to the history of the state of Massachusetts. Put the ship there if you want and call it the Mayflower, but I mean, ridiculous. And then this one looks like it came from the Gaza Strip. This, because if you look at it, it's got the blue and the white, the waves. It's supposed to be the waves of people. It's got a star, I don't know, 8-pointed star. I don't know what the 8 points mean. And then the big hill, mountain. Do we have mountains? Yeah, Mount Wachusett in Massachusetts. But what's the mountain hill for? I mean, is it supposed to be Bunker Hill?
The Blue Hills?
Yeah, I just have no idea. So this is the three best. These were professionals, designers who came up with these recommendations. And I'm saying, open it up to the kindergartners, okay, of the state of Massachusetts, or students and stuff, or students of history. I think they can come up with a better idea.
Well, I wrote in the column that it looks like something that kindergarten students put together right before nap time.
Oh, jeez. I mean, they're terrible. And to go through this, and why? You've got a strong statement, an insignia. I mean, Native Americans are upset. They're saying, who? White people are saying the Native Americans are upset. Yes, there's always some groups that complain among the Native Americans and stuff, but work out a compromise. I mean, I think we do have. Look at all the names of our rivers, our communities that take their strength from Native American language. Okay, I mean, what's going to happen to that? We're going to change all the names of the rivers, the towns, the hills, the fields. I mean, we should have a representation of the Native American past and where we came from. That's what history is all about. Make a compromise.
If you're going to change everything, you change the name of Massachusetts.
Teach the students what it stands for. They don't even teach civics in school. If more people understood what the flag stood for and what the symbols represent, we wouldn't be going through this ridiculous process.
The name of the state of Massachusetts is a ripoff of an Indian word.
Absolutely.
We should go back to its Indian origin, I think.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to do it.
So this commission now will be going around the state to show these samples to different. They'll be doing public hearings. I think they're going to do 6 of them. But what gets me is they're going to go into minority type communities, whatever that means. Okay, does that mean they're going to go on? I don't know. Do we still have reservations? And we don't have any reservations in Massachusetts. So
we have the Blue Hill.
They're looking for people.
We have the Blue Hills Reservation.
So what tells me is, typical of Massachusetts, they're going to go into communities that people favor changing the flag because they're upset by different icons, points, colors in the flag to build up their support for their idea. I mean, it's so foolish, ridiculous. I mean, and this is why we elect the legislature, to represent us as the people and stuff. And it's insane that the real people, the real historians, the people who understand the value of all these elements and stuff, don't get a voice.
This
while
started
activists.
This all started in reaction to the George Floyd murder in 2020. That's what people started tearing down statues and all that kind of stuff and changing names of sports teams and schools and stuff like that. This got so bad at the time. I wrote a column about how even Governor Charlie Baker, who's usually a stand-up guy, succumbed to pressure to remove a memorial to a half a dozen farm boys in the Confederate Army who were held prisoner at Fort Warren in the harbor, in Boston Harbor. They all died from sickness under captivity. And there was a memorial to them on George's Island, which no one ever visited, no one even knew about. Somebody found out about it, told the governor, and they tore it down, replaced it, and removed it. I mean, talk about madness.
Yeah. Well, Maine just went through this process, and now when you think of Maine, what's the first thing, Teddy? Teddy Panos, our producers in the house here at Inside Lowell Studios. Teddy, when you think of Maine, the state of Maine, what comes to mind first? What roams?
Silence. Silence. Silence.
Lobster's a good one, but black bears. The Maine, the University of Maine in Orono, they're the black bears. And so they went through their exercise. They did away with their former flag, and they put a pine tree with a star. It's just a pine tree with a star. It looks like a marijuana plant with a star, and even the Mainers now are complaining about it because it has no reflection. I mean, if you saw that in a field of all 50 state flags in the United States, you'd be hard pressed to even make a connection. Well, what does that mean? And the way they're logging and cutting down the forests, I mean, who knows if there's going to be a pine tree in Maine?
Who knows if there's going to be any
50.
bear? The bears may have left too. They got so pissed off.
But it just, the stupidity of some American people. They think they're doing the right thing. I always say, leave bad enough alone.
Yeah.
If they want help, let them come to you, and you give them a helping hand. But we just make it worse sometimes.
Look, there's a lesson to be learned from what Cracker Barrel went through with its new insipid logo that they were forced to take down.
Yeah.
That they had for years and years, and it was a fine logo that everybody knew what it meant, what it stood for, and they replaced it with a bland logo that didn't mean anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And they had to take it down after so many customers and clients objected.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
that's right. So we got a new segment now. We're going to do it weekly. Hypocrite or hypocrites of the week. Okay?
We need two segments for that.
It's amazing how you got Zoran Mamdani running for mayor of New York City. It looks like he's going to win. And his big campaign is about attacking, the billionaires, the wealthy in New York, and he's going to go after the wealthy neighborhoods and tax them more. Tax them, he says. He's going to tax them right into the to the ground if he can, because that's going to set up his state-run grocery stores, and it's going to lower rents. I guess he's going to give people handouts based on the billionaires and everything. So we've got our own new millionaires in the state of Massachusetts among our congressional delegation. There was a story that came out how we found out Mamdani, his family is millionaires, rich. AOC now is rich. Ela, a representative, Omar, yeah. Ela Omar.
She's worth now $30 million.
$30 million. She
arrived in this country 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't have two dimes to rub together.
Yeah. She's worth $30 million, but she attacks the billionaires, Trump and everybody else who's ever created a job and has owned a business and stuff. So now the story comes out about our own Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, okay, and how she went from her first financial disclosure form. She listed her financial worth as between 15,000 and I guess 100,000 at the time. Her husband, at the time when she first came into Congress, I believe he was still in jail. He served a 10-year stretch.
No, he got out after she was elected.
Yes, well, he came out after she was elected, and he starts his own consulting business.
The day after she was elected.
So since then, she's been able to acquire several properties in the Boston area, but one in Martha's Vineyard, I believe.
Yeah.
That she bought for $1 million. Okay. Now, usually when you have a balance sheet, you're only worth about $15,000 to $100,000. It's going to be very difficult to get $1 million mortgage. Okay, I would think. All right, but
Maybe she paid cash.
she got it. Her husband reported income, profit of $300,000 from his consulting business, and she is now listed
Net worth $8 million.
$8 million. It's amazing how poor people go to Congress and become rich.
Because they get all inside information on the stock market and they make money. She's not the only one. Laurie Trehane, the congresswoman from Lowell, she's now got a net worth of $8 million, and she's made money on insider trading on the stock market.
Yeah, and what was it? She made a profit of $169,000. That what you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, in this past year.
Right.
Yeah, and yet she's come out now in favor of what, cutting off that Congress.
Prohibiting Congress members from investing in the stock market.
Yeah, once you get a millionaire, you come out, and then you're against.
Well, once you've made your
yeah. So
the biggest scandal is Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Yes, yeah.
He became a multimillionaire on inside trader information that he only could have gotten from her.
Yeah, and yet she denies it, and I love it when they just keep repeating it, and then it becomes, she keeps protesting to the press and the media, so keep saying the same thing. She won't answer a question. You people are crazy. You're wrong. We would never do that. But they never look beyond that, and yet there's transcripts out there I've seen on different websites and stuff where all these trades were made, and then they track where she was in certain meetings with economic development, this and that. So come on, it's just crazy, I tell you, and just these people just suck it up when and they lie to us all the time. Once again, goes back to the institutions and why people don't have a whole lot of faith anymore in the values of the government system. It just works for certain people, doesn't work for everybody.
You and I have been around a long time. I've never known any politician from Massachusetts who went to Washington and came back poorer. Than
you're
when
right.
they left, right?
They
all come back. They're all multimillionaires.
You're exactly right. So what else do I have in my? So this story struck my eye. We know that the 9/11 Museum. I've been there twice in New York City and stuff, and it's a beautiful place. You go underground, very, very emotional and stuff. And a lot of it was built on donations from Americans and also people from across the globe who, after 9/11, after the Twin Towers were attacked and destroyed, and over 3,000 people lost their lives that day in the attack and at the Pentagon, and so it was a shining moment for not only the United States but the world. And so since the museum has started, you pay a ticket to get in there, okay, and you walk through it and everything, and the money goes towards the museum and maintaining it. Well, through the years, what has happened? The staff has grown, the salaries have grown, and now the shining example of American resilience, okay, in this 9/11 museum is $38 million in the hole. But the board there, and I don't know who's on the board, the New York Post did a story, Tribute to Greed, okay? The woman who is the head of it, okay, has steadily increased her salary. She increased her salary 63%. She's making $856,000 as the head of the 9/11 Museum, even though the place has a $38 million deficit. And now the people who originally supported with $1 million donations and other people and families of the victims are urging President Trump for a federal takeover of this museum because it's mismanaged and the staff has grown. I think the New York Post has done a story on this. This woman ran a college, Mills College, a women's liberal arts school in Oakland, California. She ran it into the ground where the college trustees sued her because She didn't tell them that the college was failing until it was too late. The college went bankrupt, and yet she increased her salary at the time to over to $580,000. She took the job at $250,000 when she took over Mills College, ran it into the ground, okay, after COVID, and she gets this job at the 9/11 Museum, okay, the board of directors. So it's just amazing that here's this organization that's going downhill, and Hillman defends her growing bureaucracy and the salaries they make, because she says you need qualified, competent staff if you're going to fight out of a $38 million hole.
It's a shame.
Oh man,
You know,
it's terrible.
I had a friend of mine who was a cop, and he went down right the day after 9/11 on his own, joined a bunch of other volunteer cops to help out on the streets at 9/11. And he was there for 2 days, and came back and was kind of pleased that he had done it. And I was kind of proud of him, because it was sort of a risky thing to do.
Yeah.
But to him, it was in the line of duty as a volunteer. Unfortunately, he died about a couple of years ago from cancer, which he no doubt contracted down at 9/11.
Yeah.
And when I think about that and compare it to this, it's positively scandalous.
Yeah, it's terrible. And once again, the New York Post writes the story. I haven't seen any pickup or any follow-up from any other publications and stuff, because hey, who knows how Hillman got the job or whatever. So Peter, anything else you want to add at all?
Yeah, I'm going to observe. We have to make an observation. Thursday is Patriots Day. Ergo the hat. I'm going to wear this hat on the golf course on Patriots Day.
Patriots Day. I thought Patriots Day.
Isn't it? What's on Thursday?
9/11.
9/11.
No, 9/11.
Yeah. So September. Yeah. So
That's
9/11's
right,
coming up.
9/11.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I'm
So-
going to wear my hat.
Yeah.
I won't play golf, but I'll wear this hat.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's very nice. And I will be playing golf that morning.
Okay.
But I'm sure that the group, we've got two foursomes playing. We will honor the flag. We've got some veterans in the group and stuff. But yes, terrible day for America. But it just goes to show you the beauty, the resilience of the American people. And we can't forget, I don't know if they're teaching about it in the schools and what they're teaching. It's a shame if they're not. But honor America, okay, that day. But I've got my People of the Week, okay?
Okay.
A new segment, closing segment, People of the Week. As you know, Pope Leo, he's now running the show at the Vatican in Rome and stuff. Well, last week he named two new saints, okay? 𝐂𝐚𝐬 and Pier Giorgio Frassati. 𝐂𝐚𝐬 𝐓𝐡𝐞 died of leukemia at 15 in 2006. And he was responsible, he's from America, and he's responsible for several miracles that occurred, because you have to have these miracles attested to, and then they have to investigate and stuff. And it's a great story. So Pope Leo honored them this past weekend. He was an only child, and he was devoted to the Catholic faith from a very, very young age. So that's a great story. And Pier Giorgio Frassati is from Italy, and he also died young, but he did help his people. He always gave to the poor. He responded to crises and stuff, and he was stricken with polio, and yet he continued to work and help the people in his community and throughout Italy. So the power of prayer, and what it means. But good story. Once again, the New York Post had this story in Sunday's paper about them being canonized, and It's a nice little read about two men who really did bring goodness and kindness and compassion with good results to their communities,
Which we need more of.
which we need more of. So, what are you working on for this week? Anything we should know about?
I'm working on a column on the results of the Boston election, and the gist of it is how it's too bad that Jonathan Kraft didn't finish third. Otherwise, now he has the gruesome task of again running against Michelle Wu and be slaughtered.
Yeah. Well, very good. Watch for Peter Lucas's column in the Boston Herald. He writes 3 columns a week, and they're great reads. They're insightful, educational, and always provocative.
Thanks for the plug, Jim.
Yes. So until our next show, have a great week. Any closing thoughts?
That's it.
All right. Take care.